There's no news worth talking about. These fundamentalists don't matter. They're just fundamentalists. Ron Paul's always going to be right. Yeah, whatever. Um, I had to remake my True Social account, which is annoying. I had to delete it before because I couldn't. There was something wrong with the formatting on an image. I couldn't get rid of something, so I had to delete it. Very irritating. Um, it's Van de Beers. I have Van de Beers. It's my family's last name, obviously. Anyways, I did nothing today. It's 1:40 in the morning. Nobody returned my phone calls. It wasn't a doctor. No lawyers have returned my phone calls in years. They just don't. For some reason, I have multiple lawsuits I'd like to sue people with. I could go to their office, but they tell me they can't see me. This, that, and the other thing. Gotta fix that. This video is going to be about. I had mentioned previously that I was made homeless by a judge, and I'm going to go into depth in that. So it's on record. It's actually on record. But I was driving through Colorado. I stopped at a Wendy's. A Baconator double, something like that. Something really bad for me. And a large Diet Coke. As I was driving, I really slurped down the drink. I don't remember if I ate the fries first or the burger first. I don't remember. I don't even remember actually eating it, but apparently I did because I dropped a massive deuce after I was in jail. Terrible. Very terrible. Greasy smelling everything. Terrible. No. Not a good smell. And they held me for a week because I didn't know what was going on. I told them I didn't want to book. And they held charges for me after I signed out and they bonded me out. They let me go outside. And they told me it was a Friday. They told me be at the court such and such date, which was the following week on a Monday. I went to court. They handed me my packet, the charges they were going to pursue, and they gave me over to a public defender. And then I saw the judge. I asked the judge, I'm like, I need to, I don't live in Colorado. I'm passing through this, that, and the other thing. The judge was told me no, there's no way. And I was like, so I can't work because of these charges. I need a speedy trial. Lo and behold, none of that happened. I was never charged. They never charged me once. The court found me to be competent and all this other stuff. And, they involuntarily committed me. They sent me for observation. The doctor, the psychiatrist, and psychologist that I saw there said there's nothing wrong with me. He gave me a bus ticket, sent me back. And then I got there to the judge, and the judge was like, I find you to be incompetent. After I just spent 7 days at a psychologist, under the review of a psychologist. And I was given no reason to why she just said, look at you. I was like, what do you mean, look at me? I'm homeless. It's I'm homeless getting harassed by police. And the police in Eagle County were trying to turn me into a gay prostitute because apparently that's a thing up there. They have these things called twinks. They're trying to get me to be a twink in Vail, Colorado. That's what they were trying to do, is make me into a twink. They call it a sissy factory up there in Summit, Colorado. But this was an Eagle, and they call it a sissy factory. It's for these queers that like to go on ski trips to do business. They want a gay prostitute, and that's what they were trying to make me do, is become a gay prostitute. This is what was going on up in Colorado. I am not a homosexual. I have never been a prostitute. I've never done any of this stuff. I have no interest in doing any of this stuff. I'm a white heterosexual Christian male. I've been a Christian my entire life. I've been a devout Christian my entire life. But this is basically what they were trying to force me into. And at the end of 18 months, they dismissed my charges, and the sheriff of Eagle County bought me a bus ticket back to Arizona, which is not where I was headed. So I ended up stuck in Arizona because if I didn't take the bus ticket, they said they were going to find a reason to arrest me. In those words, basically, we will find a reason to arrest you. So the judge screwed my life up. They tried forcing me to be a queer prostitute, and at the end, they told me I need to move to Arizona and go date a Mexican girl instead of going on and finishing my college degree, which, by the way, they didn't let me finish my college degree when I went to school again in Arizona. The Mexican gangs and the black gangs started targeting me when I was on campus. And I found out that the person in charge of the school I was at was tied into the Latin gangs over. They're not even Latin. They're Mexican. The Mexican gangs over in California. And as you can see, I'm away from that, and I have not been able to get a single lawyer to pick up the case to defend me, to get my rights back. Nobody has done it. They told me, oh, you can spend money on expunging your record and all this stuff. Like, that's not how any of this works. I'm not Snoop Dogg. You're not going to expunge my record to get my voting rights back. I didn't lose my voting rights. I'm not a felon. What I am is a person who got persecuted by a court and a judge and a bunch of attorneys. But I can't get anybody to pick this up. So I have to wait for the Department of Justice to open up. But you know, Chuck Schumer's playing his queer little game, a little word game these communtards like to play. I don't know exactly what it is, like if they're trying to collapse the government. At this point, that's what it seems like they're trying to do, is collapse the country. It's extremely seditious, but who am I, right? I'm nobody. I'm just, the descendant of one of the founders, right? Descendant of one of the 3%ers, right? I'm nobody. I'm just David Harmon. I mean, it was just the common thing. I was just a specialist in the army. You ain't never done anything. I find that interesting. I guess, we persecute people if they're not like Ryan Reynolds or something in this country. Apparently that's how the left is rolling these days, is persecuting anybody. And as far as the Pacific Northwestern goes, shut up, salty cracker.